Hello, welcome to Lesson 8C. You must be mine. In this lesson, we are going to study in grammar, possessive pronouns, in vocab, some adverbs of manner, and also practice some sentence rhythm in pronunciation, okay? Let's go. Starting here, we have a story. Reading. You are going to read and listen to a short story. First, look at the picture and answer these questions. Okay, so here we have the picture, and here we have some questions about the picture. So read the questions and answer them. Okay, here we have the answers to them. Okay, great. Now, in letter B, we are going to read and listen at the same time to part one of this story, okay? And afterwards, you are going to answer questions from 1 through 5 in activity B, okay? So let's listen and follow here together with the story.
4.7
Girl by O. Henry. Part 1.
I've found where she lives,
Said the detective quietly.
Here is the address.
Hartley took the piece of paper. On it were the words, Vivian Arlington, number 341, East 49th Street.
She moved there a week ago.
Said the detective.
I can follow her if you want. It will only cost you $7 a day and expenses.
No, thank you.
Interrupted Hartley.
I only wanted the address. How much is it?
1 day's work,
Said the detective.
$10.
Hartley paid the man. Then he left the office and took a tram to Broadway. After walking a short distance, he arrived at the building that he was looking for. Hartley rang the bell. The door opened. He went in and began to climb the stairs. On the 4th floor, he saw her standing in an open door. Vivian was about 21. Her hair was red gold, and her eyes were sea blue. She was wearing a white top and a dark skirt.
Vivian,
Said Hartley.
you didn't answer my last letter. It took me a week to find your new address. Why didn't you answer me? You knew I was waiting to see you and hear from you.
Okay, so this was part 1 of the story. Read it again, check the words you don't know, okay? And then you are going to answer these questions here in letter B. Okay, you did it? Then check your answers. These are the answers to these questions. Okay, now in letter C, take a look at the following words and phrases in the story. Can you try to guess their meanings? So the verb moved in line 5, try to see the meaning of that. Expenses, tram, ring the bell, climb. Here we can find the lines. Okay, great. Check a dictionary if necessary. In letter D, we have now part 2 of the story. We are going to listen to it, and then you are going to answer these 6 questions about it, all right?
4.8.
Part 2. The girl looked out the window dreamily.
Mr. Hartley,
She said slowly.
I don't know what to say to you. I understand all the advantages of your offer, and sometimes I feel sure that I could be happy with you. But then sometimes I am less sure. I was born a city girl, and I am not sure that I would enjoy living a quiet life in the suburbs.
My dear girl,
Said Hartley.
you will have everything that you want. You can come to the city for the theater, for shopping, and to visit your friends as often as you want. You can trust me, can't you?
I can trust you completely.
She said, smiling at him.
I know you are the kindest of men, and that the girl who you get will be very lucky. I heard all about you when I was at the Montgomerys.
Ah,
Exclaimed Hartley.
I remember so well the evening I first saw you at the Montgomerys. I will never forget that dinner. Come on, Vivian, promise me. I want you. Nobody else will ever give you such a happy home.
Vivian didn't answer. Suddenly, Hartley was suspicious.
Tell me, Vivian,
He asked.
is there someone else?
You shouldn't ask that, Mr. Hartley.
She said.
But I will tell you. There is one other person, but I haven't promised him anything.
Vivian,
Said Hartley, masterfully.
you must be mine.
Vivian looked him in the eye.
Do you think for one moment
She said calmly.
that I could come to your home while Eloise is there?
Okay. It's getting interesting, right? Okay, so now you are going to check on questions in letter D and answer them. Okay, checking your answers. These are the answers. Okay, very nice. Remember that for question number 6, 5, and 6, they are your opinion, okay? So there's no right or wrong answer about it. That's wonderful. Okay, so now remember to pause the video, check on the glossary of this part here of the text, check to see if you can understand all the words, okay? And now, let's see adverbs of manner. We often use adverbs of manner in writing to show how the characters are feeling, behaving, or speaking. Aqui seriam então os advérbios de modo, okay? To describe the way they're behaving, they're feeling, they're speaking, something, okay? So, you are going to look at the highlighted adverbs now. And you're going to guess their meanings. So they are all highlighted in the story. Try to see their meaning. What do you think they mean? All right, perfect. Now, let's go to pronunciation. For this part, we're going to practice some sentence rhythm. You will listen to the last 5 lines of part 2, okay? And what tells the speakers where to pause? In what way to say the dialogue? Let's see.
4.9.
Vivian,
Said Hartley masterfully.
you must be mine.
Vivian looked him in the eye.
Do you think for one moment
She said calmly.
that I could come to your home while Eloise is there?
Okay, so now pause the video and answer A and B. Okay, checking your answers. So, what tells the speaker where to pause? It's the punctuation. Okay, you can find it in the text. And what tells the speaker in what way to say the dialogue are the adverbs, because they will show the way that the person is saying that masterfully or calmly. All right, the adverbs will tell you how to read the lines. So here, reading aloud, reading stories or poems aloud gives you the opportunity to focus on pronunciation, especially sentence rhythm. So it's a very good practice you can do to read out loud. Okay, so why not try to practice this here now in communication? On page 104, for example, you will find this activity here, reading dialogue. Okay, so you will read all this dialogue and you will try to act out them. Here we have the adverbs of manner describing how you should read them. And remember, okay, to pause at the commas, all right? Respecting the punctuation. Let's go. Practice that. All right. Now, let's get back to page 65, and now we have listening. Okay. Now, we are going to listen to part 3 of the story. This time, we don't have the script, we don't have the text to read together. So you will listen to part 3 of the story, and afterwards you are going to answer these questions, okay? Remember, later, afterwards, you will have the chance to go to the listening script page, okay? And check on the script if you can't understand it very well. But before, focus on developing your listening skills, okay? Let's go.
4.10.
Part 3.
Eloise will go,
said Hartley angrily.
I haven't had one day without problems since I met her. You are right, Vivian. Eloise must go before I can take you home, but she will go. I have decided.
Then,
said Vivian.
my answer is yes. I will be yours.
She looked into his eyes, and Hartley could hardly believe his luck.
Promise me,
he said.
I promise,
repeated Vivian softly. At the door, he turned and looked at her happily.
I will come for you tomorrow,
he said.
tomorrow.
She repeated with a smile. An hour and 40 minutes later, Hartley stepped off the train when it stopped in the suburbs and walked to his house. As he walked towards the door, a woman ran to him. She had black hair and was wearing a long white dress. They kissed and walked into the house.
Great, so listen again if necessary, okay? And then answer these questions. Okay, checking your answers. Remember, question number 3 is your own answer. All right, fantastic. Now, to solve the mystery, let's go to part 4 of the story. you will listen to this part 4. You don't have the text here in the lesson, okay? Remember, after you try to understand the audio, you can go to listening script page and check the text, okay? Let's go.
4.11.
Part 4.
My mother is here,
The woman said.
but she's leaving in half an hour. She came to have dinner, but there's nothing to eat.
I have something to tell you.
Said Hartley. He whispered something in her ear. His wife screamed.
Oh!
Her mother came running into the hall. The woman screamed again. But it was a happy scream, the sound of a woman whose husband loved her.
Oh, Mother!
She cried.
What do you think? Vivian is coming to be our cook. She is the cook that was with the Montgomerys. She's going to be ours. And now, dear,
She told her husband.
you must go to the kitchen and tell Eloise to leave. She has been drunk again all day.
Okay, very well. Now answer these questions in B. Okay, let's check your answers. Fantastic. Did Ian surprise you? Why or why not? All right. So that's it. Now, let's move on to grammar. Now in possessive, we are going to study some possessive pronouns, okay? So let's take a look at some extracts from the story. Complete them with my, mine, your, or yours. All right, let's check your answers. These are your answers. Okay, so let's go to page 140 and learn more about possessive pronouns and then practice them. Here, let's listen to these examples and repeat them, okay?
4.12.
Whose coat is it?
It's my coat. It's mine.
Whose jacket is it?
It's your jacket. It's yours.
Whose phone is it?
It's his phone. It's his.
Whose bag is it?
It's her bag. It's hers.
Whose dog is it?
It's our dog. It's ours.
Whose house is it?
It's their house. It's theirs.
Okay, great. So let's check them out now, okay? Então aqui nós estamos vendo os pronomes possessivos, né? Mine, yours, his, hers, ours, theirs, né? It's também que não tá aqui. Enfim, nós usamos esses pronomes possessivos, né? Justamente para isso, para falar sobre posse, né? Então aqui nesse exemplo, is it yours? É seu? Yes, it's mine. Sim, é meu. Né? Então, aqui nós temos o my coat, my, fala que é um possessive adjective, né? Eles geralmente vêm antes de um substantivo. Tá? Então, adjetivo possessivo. Já o mine, ele é um pronome possessivo. Depois dele, geralmente não tem um substantivo, tá? É ele por si só. Então, quando a gente fala, por exemplo, sim, é meu, é dele, é seu, é sua, né? Então, a gente usa mine, yours, his, hers. Como a gente pode ver, não tem um complemento. Não precisa usar um substantivo, meu o quê, né? Porque a coisa já foi mencionada anteriormente. Vamos ver esse exemplo aqui, ó. Whose coat is it? né? Então, whose é muito comum de nós usarmos juntamente, né, com os possessive pronouns, porque estamos falando sobre posse. Whose, de quem? Whose coat is it? Então, de quem é este casaco, né? It's my coat. Né? Aqui, então, com o adjetivo possessivo, a gente usando o substantivo, mas com o pronome, né? A gente usa somente it's mine. É meu. Ok? Então, estude essas frases aqui para você ver outros exemplos também. Ok? Nós usamos também, então, aqui, ó, whose, né? Para perguntar sobre posse. Whose book is it? Whose is that book? Veja que nós temos duas ordens diferentes de usar o whose, né? Whose book, né? Is it? Ou whose is that book? Oh, is that bag? Ok? Então, a gente pode usar das duas formas que elas são possíveis. E aqui, nós temos também aqui que nós não devemos usar os pronomes possessivos com o substantivo, como eu já mencionei. E também não devemos usar the, né, com os possessive pronouns. Então, aqui, is this yours? É seu, e não is this the yours? Por exemplo, este é o seu. Este é o seu. Vamos supor que estamos falando sobre o carro, né? Este é o seu. Então, não pode, né, colocar o the aqui junto com os possessive pronouns, ok? Aqui temos uma tabelinha, então, com alguns pronomes, né, e adjetivos possessivos para a gente dar uma visão mais ampla, né, mais generalizada, ok? Na primeira coluna temos aqui, então, os subject pronouns, que são os pronomes sujeitos, né, os que a gente usa sempre na função de sujeito na frase, que vem antes do verbo. I can come, né? You can come, he can come, e assim vai. Temos os pronomes objetos que nós também já estudamos, né? Que geralmente vem após o verbo ou após as preposições. She loves me, né? Ela me ama. Sempre na função aqui, então, de objeto na frase, ok? Pronome objeto. E nós também temos os possessivos, né? Os que indicam posse. Então, aqui os possessive adjectives, né? Que é o que a gente acabou de ver. My, your, his, her, its, our, e their, né? Usando sempre antes do substantivo, tá? E também temos os possessive pronouns, que são aqueles que a gente geralmente não usa, né, um substantivo juntamente com eles, ok? É meu, é seu, é dele, é dela. Veja que eles geralmente terminam aqui com S, né, com exceção do mine, yours, his, hers. O its, então, ó, não muda, é a mesma coisa, tá? Então, só para vocês verem, terem uma visão, né, generalizada sobre os pronomes que nós já estudamos, ok? Great. Now, let's move on to next page 141, and let's do these activities here. Activity A, circle the correct form. So here, whose car is that? It's her, or it's hers. So you are going to circle the correct form of them. Pause the video and do it. Great, let's then now check your answers to letter A. Okay, moving on to activity B, complete the sentences with a pronoun or a possessive adjective. Example, this isn't my coffee, it's yours. Where's mine? So you will complete with one of these pronouns or a possessive adjective. Okay, checking your answers. Check to see if they are right. Congrats! Good job! Now, moving back to page 65, we have this practice, okay? You will say the sentences with a possessive pronoun. For example, it's my book. This is what you are going to hear. And this is what you are going to say. It's mine. Let's practice.
4.13.
It's my book. It's mine.
It's her scarf. It's hers.
They're our coats. They're ours.
It's his bike. It's his.
It's your phone. It's yours.
It's their house. It's theirs.
They're your glasses. They're yours.
Very good. Okay. Now let's go to activity 5, writing. Using adverbs. Make adverbs from the following adjectives. Okay, so now you are going to try to make an adverb from these adjectives. Pause the video and do it. Okay, checking your answers. As you can see, we usually have the end in ly for the adverbs. Angrily, lazily, quietly, sadly, seriously, slowly. Wonderful. Now you will listen to some lines from the stories. You need to add adverbs from A, okay, from this exercise here, after said, to show how the person is speaking. So here you're supposed to add an adverb, one of these adverbs here. Pay attention to their reaction, to the way they are reading the lines, okay? Let's go.
4.14. 1.
I'm sorry, but I don't love you.
2.
Give me back all my letters.
3.
I think I have an idea.
4.
Don't make a noise. Everyone is asleep.
5.
I don't feel like doing anything.
6.
This is a very important matter.
Listen again if necessary. Let's check your answers. So these are the answers. All right. Good job. Now in C, you are going to write a short scene between Harley's wife and Heloise when she's telling the cook to leave. Include at least 2 adverbs of manner after said. And you can send me so I can check it out for you and give you a feedback on that, okay? That's great. So now we're moving on to the workbook, okay? And we are going to do some exercises here in 8C. I will play the listening activity so you can do it together with the other exercises, of course, okay? Let's go.
File 8C. Listening.
Did you watch TV last night, Kim?
No, I didn't. What was on?
There was a really interesting cooking show on after dinner.
There was? What made it so good?
Well, it was a sort of experiment, really. They were trying to answer the question, do men and women cook differently?
Really? So, what did they do to try to find the answer?
They invited a male cook and a female cook to prepare 5 different courses of a meal. Both cooks had to use the same main ingredient for each course, but they didn't have to make the same dish. Then, they served the dishes to a panel of judges who tasted them and decided if they were made by the man or the woman.
Who were the judges?
Well, there were 2 men and 2 women. They were all food experts, either chefs themselves or restaurant critics.
What about the cooks? Were they professionals too?
Yes, they were from 2 of the best restaurants in the country.
And what kinds of things did they cook?
All kinds of things, really. But the only ones I remember are a meat dish with garlic and a bright pink dessert.
What was so special about those 2 dishes?
I remember them because the judges had real problems deciding if they were made by the male chef or the female chef. In the end, they all got it wrong.
So, did they manage to answer the question then? Do men cook differently from women?
Not really. The only conclusion they came to was that it was impossible to tell if a particular dish was made by a man or a woman. That's all, really.
So it was a waste of time then, really?
No, it wasn't. I really enjoyed the show, even if they didn't answer the question.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you and see you next video. Bye bye.